Hi, welcome back. This is s2e02 and you're watching the ShiVa Minute Season 2. Colliders and dynamics work hand in hand, so this is about both of them. This is about collision and dynamics. Colliders are for background and level objects that do not move, while dynamics that will rely on the physics engine are used as controllers for objects that move in the scene, like characters or guns or something like that. We will start out by creating a new scene and a new game that loads it. We will then load the scene into the game. Yes, we want to add it. And populate the scene with some simple objects. The ground will be made up of a single flat object, which we will then drag into the scene. To make it a collider, right click and go to Attributes, Collider, Set as Collider. You notice that the color changes to red in the default debug view. If you change the display to runtime, you notice the standard purple default material. Let's give it some other material, some texture to just see it better. Something random. I have then created a simple box with a material, basic box, that I will then drag into my scene. Note it's a little small, so I'll scale it up and move it around. Now I could give the collider attribute to each box individually and then copy it, or I could just, by opening the model, apply the collider to the model directly in the object viewer. You know that my model has not been updated in the scene, so I will have to right click, go to Model, and update the instance, which is the representation of the model in the scene, from the actual model. Yes. So now it's turned red, which signals me that my collider has been attached. Another neat trick to quickly copy objects is to simply hold Control and drag the mouse. I've now created a stack of basic boxes, added a light to the scene, and that's how it looks. Let's go to our Boxman again and give it a new dynamics controller. By default it's a sphere, but this doesn't approximate the shape of the object very well, so we change it to box, which does a better job, but it's by far not what we need. We will start to modify the size, especially the width, X to, but then we do not have the arms covered. Get an extra box shape, click Add, modify the height, move it up a little, and while it's not 100% perfect, we have the shape pretty nicely approximated. To get the Boxman into the scene, just drag it in. I'll now zoom in. There it is. Now it's fairly small and you would want to scale it up, but as you can see here, it scales only the model, not the dynamics controller. So if you wanted a really big model, just do it right from the beginning. For testing purposes this is just okay, but you cannot scale actually the model with the dynamics controller together. You will have to do this one by one or just right from the beginning. Now let's see what happens if I press play. Now let's see what happens if I increase certain factors like the bounce to 0.5 maybe. Now the object bounces like it's made of rubber. If we switch on the auto idle function, you will see that the color of the dynamics controller changes from green to red as soon as the object lies still. As you can see here, I've created the Boxman out of only 2 dynamic boxes, You can do the same with static colliders, which will greatly reduce the stress on the CPU. Colliders are detectable by a raycast, just like the sensor. You have to use the get first hit collider though instead of the get first hit sensor.